alone. No, but I figured, well, if I'm on the phone with them, then I guess like someone's grandma isn't on the phone. But it's obviously grown quite a bit from the origin story.
Yeah, you've definitely grown from the origin. You've got like automated tools now and all these different like face cam features, and your show's gotten really elaborate. It's very impressive.
It's also just really well constructed too, and how efficient it is at never tipping them off that you're like playing with them. Like these will go for 9-10 hours sometimes with a single caller. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Originally, I would tell them, partially because there's this moment where, you know, like taking off your mask, like, it was me, I was messing with you, and they'd get mad. But I realized later, if I didn't do that, sometimes it would go for days or months. I have these guys right now. I've spent 38 hours with them on the phone across like 2 months, and they've given me something like 36 of their bank accounts here in the US because they just think that I'm going to give them money. Like, so every week they just call me up and they're like, hey, how's it going? Should I give you a bank account today? Are you ready to wire me money?
Wow. So, I think the absolute highlight for me in the technology you've made is the fake Google redemption webpage. Yeah, you can probably explain it better than me, but the scammers always want Google Play cards because that's just how they're going to get their money.
It's their currency.
It's the national currency of India. That's right. And you've made a page where you can pretend to redeem the card of like $500 or some amount, and some of them just, when they see that you've put the money on your account instead of giving it to them, they do not like that.
So good.
They lose their mind. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much described it. My background is like software engineering and code stuff, and so I hacked together this like Chrome extension basically that makes the Google Play Store, when I click redeem or whatever, it pops up a fake redemption box, and anything that's any 16-digit alphanumeric, code will say that $500 got added, and the scammers don't know any better. Although technically I could just type, the number 1 16 times. I just never do that.
So what I'm hearing right here is you've become the scammer. You scam poor Google. They give you infinite money.
You're scamming these guys out of their time, Kit. What the hell? Come on.
I have become what I swore to destroy. Yeah.
Why? So is the reason that I imagine the reason they only accept Google Play in these scam businesses is because it's like untraceable? Is that the only reason?
Well, they do accept all kinds of other cards. Like they'll ask me for Sephora.
I just meant cards in general. Sorry, not just Google Play.
It's untraceable, and I think it's easy to sell on like aftermarket stuff. So the general idea is if they get a $500 Google Play card, maybe they can sell it for $400 and they'll get whatever, $100 of that or something. I don't like, it's percentage based. And then depending on the time of year and the demand, there's probably like a gift card stock market. I don't know. Underground dark web stuff, but they'll ask me for different cards. It just kind of depends.
I'll watch a good bit of scam baiting. Like I'm also a fan of Jim Browning. I think one guy is just called Scam Baiter as well, who's coming up. And didn't they describe that they actually don't make a lot of money from this? If you have like a $500 card, let's say, they'll maybe only earn like $30 or something very, very small from it.
Yeah, the guy who actually took the card. Yeah.
That's only on the individual level. These companies make like billions.
Oh no, I'm talking about the actual scammer, but it's like the manager takes like 90% or something ridiculous.
The workers are commission
paid.
The workers are commission based, at least in a few of them. Might not be all of them, but most are commission based.
I think that's what most people would find surprising about these scammers is like I always had the mental image of people that scam these people like they're just like individuals on an individual level, but they're actually like full organizations in these countries that have like business leaders, business management people, accountants and stuff working in there. It is insane.
And their CEOs are flaunting around on Facebook holding like hundreds in their hands and driving sports cars and shit. They're totally just fine with it.
Some of them do have a legitimate operation attached to it, though, for the sake of appearances. So a lot of it is them believing that side is stronger than their scam side, so they can like take more pride in their money. So like, there's that CEO that was on the new Jim Browning episode who like spreads his like spread eagle on Facebook with money and shit, and it's because he knows he can get away with it. And also, from what I understand, a lot of the officials are also in on the scam, so it's kind of like hush hush okay with some of the corrupt powers that be over there.
Yeah, there are some groups that are, you know, just two or three guys running it out of their apartment type of a thing, but there's also really big business.
Can you always tell when it's those 2 to 3 like, you know, the small business owners in this situation? Can you tell when it's them as opposed to these multinational conglomerates that you're facing?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as the big call centers usually don't waste as much time on me because they're not as desperate and they have like quotas almost. That's the way I imagine it. True. Like the boss is like, you haven't scammed enough this week, so stop talking to that old lady kind of a thing. Whereas the smaller groups, they'll what do they call it? Sunk cost fallacy. They'll kind of spend the next month talking to only me because I'm their only lead. So,
are those the people that you'll call them and they'll just be like asleep or in the middle of lunch or something, and they'll just take it at any time?
Sometimes, yeah. There's been some
control their lives. No.
There's definitely been some weird moments. I've had them like answer while they're in the bathroom and stuff.
Oh no,
just weird. Yeah,
I think
but when they really believe you're going to give them money. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the sunken cost fallacy is a really good way of putting it, because from their perspective, they've already spent 20 hours chasing this Google Play gift card from you. What's another 20 hours at that point? And then it just snowballs and snowballs, and they're stuck in like an infinite loop. It's great.
And they're probably thinking
like, sorry, go ahead.
They're probably thinking, because sometimes, so I have like fake bank accounts and they'll see $300,000 in there. So they're thinking, well, if I spend another couple hours and I can get that $300,000, if I spend another couple weeks, right, that's a lot of money. And they just keep telling themselves, well, there's a $300,000 prize at the end. Of course, it's fake and they never get anything, but
yeah, sad for them.
You just reminded me of something. Does anyone remember, like, must have been 6 or 7 years ago now, there used to be a website, and it got popular on Reddit, where you'd type in a phone number and it would robocall that number forever, literally forever, to take up the entirety of that line. Whatever happened to that? I imagine that'd be like a great tool against these scammers.
I don't know that one.
You guys don't know what I'm talking about?
Was it like, I'm going to Google it.
I think currently there's a spin-off of that works kind of like something Kit does, where if you give them a phone number and they call it, it'll have an AI like infinitely just kind of answer it and pretend it can't hear it and be like,
that's great. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they had one like a while back from Reddit, and it would endlessly, forever, dial whatever number you gave it to dial, and it would never ever stop.
That's a terrifying
like call
tool.
Flooding. I've heard of call
flooding
flooding stuff.
Yeah, it was call flooding AI.
Can't you just block the number?
Yeah,
eventually.
But there's definitely ways around it.
But don't they usually call from private numbers? Do you actually get the numbers of the scammers?
Not usually.
I thought they would have made that harder.
Yeah, not usually. It's so easy to spoof or get numbers. Like I have dozens of VoIP numbers, and then you can spoof whatever number you want. So it's pretty hard to get actual phone numbers. Occasionally, they'll give me their WhatsApp numbers.
Oh,
like they're
getting intimate.
Yeah. Usually when they think that, because I play a character sometimes who's like let me see if this actually works.
Like, I talk like this and I flirt with them.
And they believe I'm Did that go through? I don't know if that went through, but
dude, you got your hot daughter on. That was cool.
Yeah,
and so they'll like flustered over here.
Oh boy,
they'll want pics, you know. And
can you bring her back, Kit?
Yeah, our pics.
Sorry,
that was pretty good.